morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice of radio. So today, we're going to be having a look at a winning Flareon list. The lovely Code64 over on Twitter has hooked me up of a winning Flareon list. I am beyond delighted, because we've talked about these Eeveelutions that are going to be coming out soon as promos, and I told you that we've not seen a winning Flareon list yet. That was making me extremely sad. But now we have a winning Flareon list, which makes me extremely happy. So Flareon then. Flareon is my favourite of the original Eeveelutions and my favourite of the free promo cards. Obviously, we've got the Energy Evolution Eevee here, so you can attach a fire energy from your hand and evolve it straight up. For one fire energy, you then get to do 30 damage and attach 3 fire energy cards from your hand to your Pokemon in any way that you like. But of course, you're then attaching, assuming you attach to Eevee, you're then attaching to Eevee from your hand, which means you can evolve up. You can attach 1 to Eevee, evolve into Flareon, use the attack, use that to attach 3 more to 3 more Eevees, and all of a sudden, turn 1, you've got all 4 Flareon in play, assuming none of them are prized, nor any of your Eevees. That, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty gosh darn awesome. We've then got free energy, 190, discard 2 fire energy. That's a fairly big smashing attack. It's already a straight one-hit KO on a whole bunch of stuff, like Blacephalon, like Rayquaza, like Buzzwole, although you don't quite get up to the Tag Team GXs. You then have the GX attack for 1 fire energy, 20 damage for each basic fire energy in your discard pile. So you've got an attack which accelerates energy, which is great, a big smashing attack, which is great, and then a late game powerful single energy GX attack, which is great. There is a lot to love about Flareon, and of course you're evolving up from Eevee. Eevee is great. I adore this. Now, there is one other Pokemon that we have to use here, and that is Victini Prism Star. Because you see, Victini Prism Star basically has the same attack as Flareon. Victini Prism Star for 2 basic fire energy rather than 1, but it is a basic, so we can forgive him. Does 20 damage for each fire energy in your discard pile, just like Flareon. The difference, other than the second energy you need to use, is that you then have to shuffle all the energy back into your deck, which could clog up your deck in an annoying manner, but it could also mean that you've then got lots of energy in your deck to find and accelerate and all of that. I suppose I should mention the Victini shuffles any basic energy, not just fire, but given that this deck only plays basic fire energy, it's largely irrelevant. The other Pokemon that we see seeing a lot of love in this particular deck is Reshiram GX. Now, I've been a fan of Reshiram GX since I first saw it and did a video about it for this channel. Reshiram is a great Pokemon, although I'm really more of a fan of the GX attack than anything else. Now, the first attack for 1 colourless energy lets you search your deck for 2 fire energy and attach them to Reshiram, but then again, Reshiram's then sitting in the active, ready to be attacked. Not a huge fan of that. The main attack, 4 energy, 110 plus burn, not a fan of that. What I am a fan of is Vermilion GX, 4 energy, 180 damage. You may attach up to 5 fire energy cards from your hand to your Pokemon in any way that you like. You should, in theory, be getting a KO on a GX Pokemon doing this. That's awesome. And then you get to attach 5 fire energy from your hand, which in theory should be setting you up for the rest of the game. When I'm playing a fire deck, and I will be doing this in my fire decks, when I'm playing something like Flareon, what I really want, my ideal turn 1 play, is Kiawe onto a Reshiram, and then use Reshiram's GX attack to take early prizes while setting up my Flareon. If you can go first, an awesome play here is Kiawe. You use Kiawe to put the energy onto Reshiram. Now that does end your turn, which is a little bit sad. But then, on turn 2, you take a KO on a GX, because again, you're hitting 180, with a Choice Band you're up to 210, so, you know, your Zoroark and all of that are going down as well. Then all of a sudden, you've taken 2 prizes, and you've basically set up 2 Flareon. I mean, if you can just put 2 energy on each of 2 Flareon, that means you need 1 basic energy on each of them to hit for 190. At that stage, if you're playing against a GX deck, you are running through them. Now, a non-GX deck, maybe you need a lot more energy, and that could be awkward. And a tag team GX deck, maybe you're not doing quite enough. But oh my goodness, against a GX deck, this is phenomenal. In terms of other Pokemon, we see 1 Tapu Lele. You need this for your turn 1 Kiawe, that's super important. And 1 Oranguru because it lets you draw until you got 3 cards in your hand. It's just a nice little bit of draw to help you get rolling through the game. Obviously, in terms of energy, we just play basic fire. That's fairly important, ladies and gentlemen, because that's all you can use with Kiawe and Reshiram and all of that good stuff. 13 of these in total. I should actually mention while we're here, Reshiram's GX attack, you are attaching energy from your hand, so it will activate Eevee's ability. You're not putting 2 or 3 energy on a 60 HP Eevee and hoping it doesn't get Guzman and KO'd the next turn. That would be a very bad thing. Now, in terms of the other trainers here, we've already mentioned Kiawe, that's fairly important. But it's really important that we have Fiery Flint here. Discard 2 cards from your hand, and then you search your deck for 4 fire energy. Yes. Now, admittedly, Reshiram can attach 5, and this only searches for 4. Well, like I've said, if you can attach 4 fire energy using Reshiram GX, as far as I'm concerned, that's a win. That's a bonus. You're doing just fine in that regard. I have no problem with this. And really, and it's not going to happen every game, but if you can get turn 1 Kiawe, turn 2 Fiery Flint, and then attack with Reshiram, you are just setting yourself up for the game. It doesn't even matter if Reshiram goes down here, because you should have already taken 2 prizes. You're really switching 2 for 2. That's a trade I can live with. And then, of course, at some point during the game, Jirachi should come in for a huge KO as a non-GX, and that should help you to swing the prize trade in your favour. I love this. So getting back to the trainers then, we see 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Nest Ball. You need to get your Pokemon out. Nest Ball is really good here because you're looking at all basics, other than Flareon, but you can use Eevee's ability for that. But you do need the Ultra Ball because Nest Ball will not allow you to use Tapu Lele's ability. You kind of need that. We see a couple of Energy Retrieval here. Energy Retrieval's great because you get the energy into your hand straight away. You just pick up 2 basic energy from the discard, and both Flareon and Reshiram's attacks attach energy from your hand. You need energy in your hand. There you go. Couple copies of Choice Band, which is fairly important for hitting numbers, as I've already mentioned. 1 copy of Field Blower to get rid of your opponent's tools and stadiums. 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher to get your Pokemon back. In terms of supporters here, we've got 4 Cynthia and a couple of Lily. They are the best draw supporters in the format. Cynthia gives you a new hand of 6. Lily lets you draw until you've got 6 in your hand. They're rather important. And 3 copies of Guzma. I love a heavy Guzma here purely because you're not always doing enough damage with Reshiram and Flareon, which is ridiculous given how much damage they do, but it's nice to be able to pick a Tapu Lele off the bench, etc. So I like that. That's fairly important. We see a couple copies of Ace Roller. You're playing big, bulky GXs. Being able to pick them up and heal them is great. Reshiram really is a one-shot for the GX attack, and that's about it. Flareon can attack for 1 energy, and you're attaching lots of energy from your hand, so using Ace Roller to pick up here makes sense. 1 copy of Judge, little bit of a disruption, give your opponent a new hand of 4. And 1 copy of Bill's Analysis, lets you look at the top 7 cards of your deck and find 2 trainer cards. Stuff like Energy Retrieval and Fiery Flint is going to be so important in this deck that is just a huge bonus. In terms of stadiums, we do see 1 Heat Factory Prism Star, obviously we do. It's a fire deck. You need 1 of these in every fire deck, essentially. Lets you discard a fire energy from your hand, draw 3 cards. Fire energy in the discard combos nicely with stuff like Energy Retrieval and Victini, because remember, after you've set up a couple of GXs, you want Victini to smash. Lots of energy in the discard, good. But we also see a couple copies of Po-Town here. Now, this could just be to counter other Prism Star stadiums like Thunder Mountain, but I really like this here because when something evolves, they have to take free damage counters. And there are some Eeveelution GXs that you're not quite going to be KOing here, so it's really nice to just get those extra free damage counters on to put them in range. If Zoroark evolves, or Zorua evolves into Zoroark with a Po-Town out, they're instantly in range of Reshiram, and in fact in range of Flareon. That sounds fun to me. I'm delighted because we'd seen winning lists for Jolteon and Vaporeon. I'll pop links in the description. But Flareon is my favourite of these. I hadn't seen a winning list, and I really want this channel to be a place where you can go, hey, I fancy playing Flareon GX or whatever the deck might be. I can go and find a good list over on Wassie's channel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I'm a fan. I love this. I am definitely going to be testing Flareon. I adore Flareon. But I'd like to know what you think of Flareon and specifically this deck. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. But please do remember the most important rule as always. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays for some more Wassie action. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.